Hello everyone, my name is Margot Whitney and welcome to my webinar on the Lover's Key 6. In the Lover's Key, we find the Archangel Raphael with Adam and Eve. In the keys that we've covered so far, each of these three characters were presented individually. So here they are all together. This should be interesting. We saw that the superconscious mind, here shown as Archangel Raphael, was first presented to us on the Fool card. The self-conscious mind, here expressed as Adam, was explained to us on the Magician card. The subconscious mind, here expressed as Eve, was introduced to us on the High Priestess card. So here, for the first time, we'll get to see how they have a good relationship with each other. First, let's cover a few of the general attributes of Key 6. The Hebrew letter for this card is Zain. Zain's number value is 7 and means sword. Note the small sword in the lower right-hand corner of the card. A sword is a powerful instrument of discrimination. You use discrimination when you perceive a difference and need to make a choice. This power is at the root of the self-conscious mind, Adam, where things are perceived as many apparently unrelated parts. There's a famous quote, "All you see is all there is," and it would appear to be the foundation of his thinking. But you need to realize that without this ability to see everything around you as a separate entity, you would be unable to perceive differences. This mindset also gives you the ability, through imagination, to create illusions. This seems strange to us on the path where we're looking for the underlying unity of life. Yet, without this ability to see things separately, the individual self-conscious mind would not exist. Why is that? In our universe, we have the one identity manifesting to itself through us via the faculty within us we call our self-conscious mind, our Adam. In the Book of Tokens, it is stated, "For the sake of creation, the one life that I am seemeth to divide itself, becoming two." To continue with our basic description of this card, Mercury is the ruling planet and Gemini is its sign. The identity or function of this card is the power of choice using correct discrimination. What is real and what is unreal? Appearances keep us in a world of unreality. The only way we perceive is through our physical senses. So how do we wake up? We must wake up those very same physical senses. They can perceive beyond the physical, but that sight lies dormant within you. The path of the tarot, using its images and symbolism, allows you to awaken them slowly but surely. And as you may remember, your subconscious mind, your Eve, is quite amenable to suggestion. So the way will open to you with study and reflection. The number 6 means reciprocation, which is the act of giving and receiving mutually. Reciprocation is a relationship between two separate entities. Therefore, the need to use discrimination must come first. Let's move on to understanding how reciprocation works. First, you use your atom mind to give suggestions. Then, your Eve mind receives your suggestions, works them out, and then gives the results back to you. Let's take this a step further. Let's explore the notion that reciprocation also means a relationship between your Archangel Raphael mind and your personality. Your personality is your Adam and Eve aspects combined. Remember, your Adam consciousness is not the inner self. The inner self on this card is represented by Archangel Raphael, whose name means God heals. So here we find that the harmonious reciprocity between opposites has the same nature as that which we call love. The opposite inharmonious relationship is a demonstration of hate. These relationships occur within yourself and occur between yourself and others in your life. Love and hate are considered root emotions because they can temper and color all your other emotions and desires. We're headed on the path of return, headed back toward consciousness of unity. Therefore, we must use the reconciling, harmonizing energy of love to color our emotions and desires. Our ability to use the sword of discrimination to make right choices in our lives allows us to manifest the uniting power of love to great effect on our emotional life. Key 6 tells us that the way to freedom is the way of love. Friendly persuasion is the key to discovering that love is unconditional and self-imparting, like sunlight. Love is a universal principle, but we must learn how to let it flow through us, to let it be. Note the ground that Adam and Eve are standing on is green. As you may remember, green represents the harmony of nature and the planet Venus and love. The title of this card reminds us that pairs of opposites can be complementary and not antagonistic. When you arrive at a correct understanding of the universe as an expression of the power of love, you gain the ability to create a balanced relationship within yourself and with those in your life. The astrological attribution of Key 6 is Gemini. Note the symbol in the lower right-hand corner of the card. This brings out the possibility that opposites are different aspects of the same thing. Heat and cold are different degrees of temperature. Past and future are different aspects of time. The Kybalion states, quote, everything is dual, everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and dislike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The planet Mercury is represented by the magician. on this card called Adam and rules Gemini. Mercury's power is as the interpreter of events and rules through the law of suggestion. When Mercury interprets experience incorrectly, his suggestions made to Eve may result in disaster. It is very important that we learn what the pairs of opposites are in order to help return us to a balanced state. The function assigned to the letter Zain is that of smell. Smell is associated in language with discrimination, such as, quote, to be offensive to honesty or propriety, unquote, or, quote, it doesn't just smell right, unquote. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, sometimes personified in Egyptian mythology as the jackal-headed Anubis, representing discernment because of the jackal's keen sense of smell. On the human body, Gemini rules the lungs, collarbones, shoulders, arms, and hands, all in pairs. Archangel Raphael is wearing a violet robe, the color an indicator of spiritual power and truth. Behind the archangel is a massive golden sun, the source of life and energy on earth. The angel's yellow skin refers to the element air and the sign Gemini. The element air, which symbolizes man in the Book of Formation, is the reconciling element between fire and water. The flames of Raphael's hair are a blend of red for reason, green for imagination, and yellow for light. The tiara of golden feathers crowning his head repeat our focus or attention upon the sun. The blue sky reminds us of the High Priestess key, which symbolizes water, memory, receptivity, and reflection. The watery clouds in the world of appearance hide from our sight the archangel, our inner self. When this illusion of appearance is removed, we'll be able to see Raphael and the sun. The mountain stands for the great work. Through evolution, over time, at some point, in another life, or possibly this one, we'll make it to the top of the mountain. If you choose to participate in your own evolution and help move it along, the tarot will provide you with guideposts. Illumination is hidden behind all of the distractions and wonderful entertainment on this planet. They're just fine and very enjoyable, but don't confuse them with reality. The Kabbalah's central theme is contained in beauty. Just look at the Tree of Life diagram. All paths lead to the central sphere, or light emanation, called beauty. Of all the tarot cards, the Lover's Key most closely represents beauty. When two lovers are apart, nothing happens, but together they create beauty. A tulip and an eye do nothing apart, but put them together and beauty happens. Beauty is very subtle. You miss a lot if you are sensitive only to the gross level. This key relates to discrimination, the avenue of refinement of the senses. The Archangel Raphael is blessing the lovers, Adam and Eve, both of which are within each of us. We each identify with either one or the other. Adam is reasoning and Eve is feeling. Raphael's blessing enables these two aspects to be integrated within us. This tension between these two polarities permeates the whole tree of life, the whole universe. Try breathing. You've got to have both the in-breath and the out-breath. We keep trying to keep Adam and Eve outside of ourselves from a separate material point of view. That's not really the case. The biblical statement, male and female created he them, is interpreted by the Kabbalists that we are both feminine and masculine in our psyche. Key 6 displays the activity needed for producing good and helpful results between the various parts of yourself. In other words, our main source of inspiration and guidance is found within us. We've all heard the story of Adam and Eve. Let's take a look at that. Behind Adam is a tree bearing 12 fiery fruits. These are symbols for the signs of the zodiac, and each flame is triple because astrologers subdivide every sign into 3 parts. Each sign is allocated a triplicity consisting of 3 of the 4 classical elements: air, water, earth, or fire. Thus, the tree behind Adam is the tree of life. The tree of knowledge of good and evil stands behind Eve. The fruits of the 5 senses hang from the tree, as yet untouched. From the Kabbalistic point of view, the serpent is lifted up for healing. Thus, the presence of Raphael on the card. The serpent represents the Kundalini force, the power in ourselves that is our very salvation, moving up the spine of man to enlightenment. Our material senses have been spiritualized here. Through the agency of Eve, Adam has had an uplifting experience that introduced him into a spiritual world. And the apples were delicious. The Kabbalah doesn't believe in original sin, though there is such a thing as missing the mark, but we always get another chance. In order to have a successful life, you must actively participate in it with discrimination, intelligence, and harmonious reciprocity. The lover's key is a sacrament in the highest sense of the word because it represents the prolongation of life. Here we have perfected balance between opposing forces. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them. You are also welcome to visit my website called gates-of-light.com, Traveling Through the Tarot. You will find information there about symbols, planets, zodiac signs, and colors. It also has a few meditations and concentration exercises that you may like. Thank you for listening.